Many people I talk to do not understand what Capstone is, even many Unbounders, surprisingly. So what is Capstone?
Capstone is the final in-person event of the 3 events that are held throughout the year. It is at the end of the signature leadership courses. It is our most academically focused in-person event. It's normally in the beautiful mountains of Colorado.
Dr. Myers is, once again, our professor, our course instructor. And this year was very special in that it was the first time he was back in person in Colorado, right in front of us, giving us the lectures. I think it really boiled down to 3 main concepts that we talked about that I myself learned a lot with Capstone.
This year, we had sessions for both the year 1 and the year 2 tracks. And it was really neat because the year 2 especially was able to dive deeper into the practical aspects of leadership.
Besides all the classwork, it was cool to see us really go into making things happen. So we had the normal activities that we would do for Capstone. We had the spaghetti challenge.
So basically, a whole bunch of college students were given a whole bunch of food items and told to make a tall tower with them.
It's kind of like an adult craft class for college students, but Unbound style. What's actually happening is there's real team building going on behind me. These guys are learning how to communicate, they're learning how to work together, and I'm seeing the team come together in a way more quickly and more effectively than I've ever seen before. It's incredible.
It was on the floor.
16.
I gave it 16.
Yeah, 16 inches.
16
Solid. Solid.
A decent amount of the construction took place after you said 30 seconds.
This year was also special in that having started at Apex, this was the last time that this specific Ascend class would be together. And it was so cool to see how we looked at leadership, how we interacted with each other, how we were able to tell our stories. And that was, and that is, the second aspect of Capstone that we really dived into this year, which is story.
Every year at Capstone, we talk about story. This year in particular, it was cool to see how people told their stories in a way that showed how creative they were and how they wanted to use their stories to impact others, and also empower others to be able to tell their stories as well. It wasn't just the stories that they were telling in their life story, it was how they wanted to use that experience to influence other people and to empower them going forward.
There are some amazing deep stories, very touching moments, and there were a lot of more fun stories.
Would you recommend this experience to a friend?
100%. Yes.
Lots of words of wisdom.
Words of Wisdom with David Rethemeyer.
Music is a form of true expression of what you are really feeling on the inside. For example, this chord right here means that I need to use the restroom.
The number 7 has a great significance in many cultures, in many situations, in many contexts. For me, it's a very simple number to write, so I like it.
Wipes. They allow you to clean your hands, and also your heart. Except not really, because that would be really weird, and wipes don't actually have that power. The point of this is that you really shouldn't pay that close attention to anything I say, except for the fact that I am on the television screen.
And this has been Words of Wisdom with David Rethemeyer.
As we mentioned, this is the last time that this specific Ascend class was together. And it's cool to see the relationships that have been built since Apex last year.
Ascend is about community. It is about going through and getting an education through life. But it really is about the leadership that we learn through building community.
We're hiking. It's really hard. We're tired.
but it's a beautiful view. Totally worth it.
Leadership isn't just being in front of a team, being on stage, doing these big things, but leadership is influence. That is what we talk about at Capstone. And I loved how this year we were able to see that happen, how we had small things, just people coming together, people visiting, and seeing the joy and the great positive influence that friends within the Unbound community have had to encourage each other, to empower each other to, again, tell their stories and to work together as a team. Now, I know for me, Capstone was very much a blur. I don't know about you.
Yeah, a little bit. But if you're watching this as an Ascend student or an Unbounder, we want to hear from you guys. So let us know. What did you learn from Capstone this year?
And in the meantime, be Unbound. We'll see you around.